Hey, what's up guys? Today this 1997 Chrysler Intrepid is going to get its first detail in 26 years, and I'll tell you why I've already dubbed this car the weed car.
Okay, well, as crazy as it sounds, this car has never been detailed in 26 years. When you see the interior, you'll believe it. But first, I need to show you the tragedy that is this paint job on this Intrepid. It was done by hand in the previous owner's driveway and just looks terrible. And even comes with a few other homemade solutions on the front end. But the real story here is the interior that is an absolute disaster after 26 years. I opened the door and was blasted by the overpowering stench of marijuana. This was unlike anything I've dealt with before, but it's not just the smell I'm dealing with here, as the whole interior is just disgusting and there's no telling what I'm going to find underneath the mess in the back seat. Now, if you're excited to see the transformation today, then make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss a future video.
All right guys, well, it's time to get started on the Intrepid, but wish me luck on this one because I don't think this is going to be much fun today.
Alright, well, getting to work on this Intrepid today, and with this being a do-it-yourself type paint job that's already peeling off, I'll do my best to avoid making it worse, but realistically that's likely impossible because it was a hack job at best and the paint is barely holding on at all. Working my way around the car, and you've probably heard me say a few times before to be extra thorough when you spray out the inner lip of the fender well so you can be sure to get any trapped road salt blasted out to avoid rust. But in the case of this car, I'd say that ship sailed many years ago, so at this point it's just about making sure everything is good and clean. But I will say that I'm really curious to see what the blue paint underneath looks like, because from what I've seen so far, it looks to be in decent shape. Moving to the front end now, and I'm going to do my best to not disturb the Gatorade bottle that's taped into the car on the passenger side here, along with the glued on fog lights on the bumper. But all day while I was working on the car, I was wondering what the bottle was for, and I came up with a few working theories. One, that it's simply a housing for the signal light to help direct the light out. Two, that it's some sort of homemade laser beam system that liquefies bad drivers in front of it. And three, that he just thought it looked cool. And I'm guessing that all three of those ideas would likely have been concocted while the owner was high on marijuana. Now, some of you out there might wonder why I would bother with this step at all when the exterior is in the shape that it's in, and honestly, it just boils down to pride of work. I couldn't give this car back to the owner without doing my full process on it and knowing it's as clean as I could possibly get it. Now every so often I get a disgusting car in that likes to really make me work, so after removing the rubber mats, I found the carpet ones underneath equally as gross, as the rear ones even had fuzzy white mold growing on them. So using my carpet cleaner, green drill brush, and pressure washer, I'll work on getting the decades worth of dirt blasted out. Alright, well next up is to get the front seats removed so I can see what sort of treasures are hiding underneath. And just as I expected, there's a bunch of garbage and all kinds of stains in the carpet. So after taking a quick look, I'll start removing all the stuff from the back seat, get the garbage cleaned up, and then also remove the door sill plates to make cleaning them a little easier. Moving to the back passenger section here, and even without vacuuming, I can tell that these carpets are filthy and that these stains might not fully come out today. When a vehicle hasn't been cleaned for over 2 decades like this one, you really can't expect to get everything looking perfect again, but that doesn't mean I won't try my hardest to get it there. Okay, while I work on the back seat here, I just wanted to quickly remind you guys about the playlist that I've got on the channel. If you're like me and love to just binge watch entertaining TV shows or videos, then you should give the playlist a look. I've got one for just about every category of detail you'd want, from the worst disaster details to abandoned cars to extremely muddy exteriors, all the way to a playlist of all the details I've ever gotten owner reactions on. So give them a look, sit back, relax, and enjoy while you get lost in the satisfaction of seeing some insanely dirty vehicles get cleaned up to look new again. Alright guys, it's time to put my carpet cleaner to the test on these dirty seats and super stained carpets, which you can of course find over at detailgeekautocare.com. This is a product that I spent quite a while working with the lab to formulate it just the way I wanted it, because just like you guys, when I use a product, I want it to just work. I don't want it to kind of work. I want it to work really, really well the first time, and that's exactly what my carpet cleaner does. It's got some very powerful cleaning agents in it, and if you've watched my videos for a while, you know that it can pretty well handle any spill or stain with ease. So do yourself a favor and head over to the site, grab a bottle, or a gallon jug if your car's really bad. It's okay, I won't judge. Now that I've gotten the seats perfectly clean, I'll turn my attention to the carpets, and we'll start by using a liberal amount of carpet solution here, and we'll also make sure to agitate really well with the drill brush. But in a situation like this where I know these stains have been here a really long time and are likely very stubborn, I'll repeat the process at least a time or two until I don't see any more progress being made. Here's the bucket full of nasty and very smelly water pulled from the Intrepid today. Gross. Now as I continue working my way around the car with the steamer, you'll notice that I'm wearing my respirator and have been the entire time I've been working on the interior. because like I mentioned earlier, the smell in here was horrendous and was nostril burning. It reminded me a lot of the red Toyota Corolla I did a couple years ago where the owner had spilled bong water in it. So not only did it smell, but the stains in the seats were pretty crazy. Either way though, I can tell you that by the time I was done with this car today, it smelled 100 times better than when I started. Here's the door sill plates that I removed earlier, and it never ceases to amaze me how well some of my all-purpose cleaner and steam works to blast off decades of filth, but it also works great on the not super dirty cars too by just spraying some in a damp towel. You can find it over at detailgeekautocare.com along with nearly every other product and tool that I use in my videos to transform these vehicles. Alright, well for the hard to reach inside of the windshield, the process here really isn't all that different except that I always grab a fresh waffle weave towel for this section of glass as it's usually pretty dirty, and I also want to ensure that my towel is nice and clean as using a dirtier towel could lead to streaks being left behind. But overall the secret to streak-free glass is using a waffle weave towel and of course a quality glass cleaner as well.
All right guys, well 10 hours later and even I'm blown away by how good the Intrepid cleaned up. At least on the inside anyways. The outside just looks terrible still and really wasn't a whole lot I could do with that, but I am still wondering what the heck this Powerade bottle is doing here. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have figured this one out, but anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.